Hey there, back again. Got a couple more. I'm here with my, special guest. Hey!
It's me.
it's the man behind the camera.
Yes.
Eric, hello sir, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, man? Has it been good? You enjoying the show?
It's been awesome. So again, real quick, before we get into what we're going to talk about here, this guy, above and beyond. So everybody, shout out, kudos to this guy. Everything's been awesome today. Eric's got us on. We're on his phone, for crying out loud, Eric. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be doing it. And honestly, the great thing is I keep seeing good comments about what people like to see out here. And honestly, we've had a really great bunch of guests. I mean, God, we just had Charlie from Nina Paper, and he was awesome. We had Dane on. We had Josh yesterday. We had just people from stalls. We had just incredible stuff, new technologies, just all kinds of stuff. For the first 2 days, that's pretty awesome. The thing is that we still have another day to go. We can get a lot more going. So this is for you guys.
Nice. All right, Eric. Well, so one of the things that you were doing out here, besides just hanging out with me, which has been awesome, but you were a little judgy, Eric. I just want to be honest with people. You were a little judgy. No, you were one of the judges for the Impressions Awards 2019. We're actually looking at them over here, so if you guys could turn yourself around.
But you can't. Nobody's there to push the button.
Yeah, so here's the other deal. This thing is running on its own.
Yeah.
So there's nobody behind the camera, so you guys can comment like crazy, and we have no idea what you're saying.
Folks.
So we'll check them afterwards, and we appreciate that.
We'll jump back in.
Eric, you were a judge. Talk to us a little bit about that and then how that went and kind of what that process is like.
Yeah, well, people kind of always ask, what is it like to do the judging for the embroidery contest or any of the contests here? And what you really do, you go through the entire selection and kind of first narrow it down to the things that you think are really outstanding. You get a top 3 is what we usually do per category. Okay. And once we do that, we actually have kind of a rubric, a set of different things we look for. And that's what we do. We have to actually judge them based on different kind of qualities that the pieces have. Okay. So I think what's interesting to people is that it's not just looking at one side of it. It's not just technicality. It's not just how it looks. It's not just size. It's not that kind of thing necessarily. But there are a few things that we get together that put together to kind of say, okay, this is a great sample. This is something that's out of the ordinary. That's something special. And really, it's different at different shows. I mean, originally, I judged back in the day, Stitches magazine, sadly now defunct, not there anymore. I judged the Golden Needle contest, and Golden Needle was production digitizing when I did those contests. So that we would get the file, and I could look through your file and see, okay, how production friendly are you? Yeah. We're not doing that here today. So some of that stuff, we can tell some things, but we don't really go into the level of the file.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Well, so. Take me through some of the, again, I'm guessing you've probably, knowing you've posted quite a few of these things on there, and we'll get more and more of it. But there's some, from the outside looking in, and everybody knows I'm not an embroiderer, you would think that after all this time with you, some of it would have rubbed off. I think I'm just too dense. But what's making some of these things, though, stand out to you? Not that you're going to give us who the winner was, but like when you said, oh yeah, this is it right here.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, honestly, we do have those categories that we have to respect. So some of the things they ask us to check for, they say, okay, now you got your top 3 pieces that just have whatever the je ne sais quoi, whatever, like the thing that makes it look good to you, that looks like a good piece. And that's made of all sorts of different experiences. After that, we have to say, okay, what has the most visual impact? Also, which is the most difficult piece to work on? That's one of the things we judge on. Visual impact, how difficult we think the piece was to work on, how well executed technically we think it is, and then we have to talk about position and how it's placed on a garment or on an object, so the fitness for the thing that it's being used for. So honestly, there's a lot going into it that everybody says, oh, only big stuff wins, only high color stuff wins. That may not be the case. And on top of it, we also have the categories themselves. One of the categories that's interesting here is most creative use of an embroidered logo or mascot. Okay. So for me, when I go to look at it, when I'm picking my top 3, I'm still going to go down and say, is this technically good? Yep. Is this in the right position? Stuff like that. I'm going to look at it and say, okay, which one of these was the most creatively used? Is it just in the same left chest position they always are? Is it on a normal standard shirt? Or did they do something interesting with the way it's placed or with the designs themselves? Because that's the category. The thing I would say, though, people get a little shocked and everybody's like, you're saying, oh, you're a little judgy. Yeah. I got called out because the first thing I do, I'm kneeling in front of the racks and I've got my hands inside the garments and I will start to fold the garments and play with how dense they are and run my fingers over them and see if there's any dense spots or like knotted up areas. And that's something I'm fairly known for, is I jump in there and say, okay, yeah, if it looks good, that's great. If I get in there and it's bulletproof, it's a piece of cardboard, it's terrible, it's got big knots where it couldn't be worn, but you have it on a garment, then I'm probably going to say it's not as technically able as it could be if you did a better job kind of balancing your density, stuff like that. But I will say, sometimes people make really finely done small pieces. When we're doing visual impact, sometimes that is a thing. Depending on the category, it may make a difference where you put it on a garment, what garment you choose. Because some of the things that happen too is that, the decoration's not fit for the garment. And so we say, okay, it's not, or literally it's crooked or placed poorly, and people don't think of that all the time when they're doing digitizing contests specifically.
Awesome. All right, well, so sounds like pretty. I mean, the interesting part to me here is all this detail that you're sharing with us. I think of a contest and go, yeah, which one looks the best? But to know that there's all this other parts and pieces that go with it, pretty interesting. So.
Yeah, I think really people kind of tend to think, okay, it's just going to be the thing that has the most color blending or whatever difficulty. Now, difficulty, totally part of it. Like I said, if it is a hard subject to render, that's a thing.
Yep.
But if you render it and it looks great, but it doesn't feel great, or it doesn't wear great, or it's not in a good position, that's not going to help. Would I suggest people do big pieces? Sure. When you have judges, especially Impressions Awards, they actually have some public judging as well. People choose their favorites depending on your category. Of course, when people walk up to a rack of garments having a nice big piece, or having a very colorful piece, or an interesting piece of art, even if it's technically difficult, if the piece of art is kind of bland or not very interesting, technical difficulty isn't going to make up the difference. So really, we're looking for a total package. And I'll say, like I said, every contest is different. Look at the rules. If the contest you're in does have your file involved, check for extra color jumps and trims and machine functions and things that make it not friendly for production, because if somebody looks at your file and they can see that you weren't paying attention, it might be a strike against you.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, I'm learning every time I talk to you, I learn so much about embroidery. One of these days it may actually sink in for me, but because of my lack of ability to grasp this, I have been working with you, encouraging you, maybe the right word. So, since we're on video, and I've got you right here, I told you this was a possibility.
Got me pinned down.
We're pinning him down. Erich, what are we doing in March?
In March, you even went for a month. Okay. Here's the thing that we're trying to do. Everybody out there, you guys have been asking for a long time that I bring some of my class content that I do at all of these wonderful trade shows back to video, somewhere where you can get it remotely, and we're going to do that. Yep. So I've got a course that I've actually taught before, but I'm going to do some updating, and I really like this course. It's one called Demystifying Digitizing. And it really gets into some more details about how to make things look better and how to get more visual interest, and how to test and run and sample quicker. So the plan is right now, as you guys know, we're here for Decorators Community, that this will be kind of one of our products for Decorators Community, so that I can get you guys out there and say, here's some information and a platform, and Aaron's actually helping me out with the platform and getting it sorted out. So, fingers crossed. I'm not going to say things couldn't go wrong. I'm nervous about the dates, but he's really driving me there.
Yeah. All right, well, don't listen to that last part that Erich just said. So March 28th, this is happening.
All right.
Nothing's going to go wrong, and we will push through any challenges that come to us. So, with that being said, I will have for you guys by this time next week, by next Friday on the podcast, there will be a spot where you can register for information. All right, we can get you on the list. So if you're interested in this, it'll be at decoratorscommunity.com to get this started, and we'll get you the exact link once that's available. But I tell you what, guys, this to me, Erich, and we've talked about this.
Sure.
But this to me is what the Decorators Community is about. It's about finding out what people need. It's about kind of bringing it together in a hub, and if there's an opportunity for us to help and host, like in this case, or in a case like Marshall's program here, where he's got that we can just share. That's what it's all about. They're sharing.
So
right
everybody
there.
knows that there's Marshall's new program.
Great program. So
go back and check the video.
That's what this is all about. That's what Decorators Community is about, and that's what gets me excited. I mean, honestly, I know Erich is providing the content, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm a parent.
It's also because you had to help me do everything.
Very little. And this is the part is like, Eric's got all this stuff, and so all I need to do is just help him with a few little details along the way. And you guys are going to help encourage us, keeping us moving to the finish line. So, going to be good. All right. Well, what else did we miss? We missed anything here? What's been your impression of because in about 15 minutes there will be beer across the way, so we'll see how that goes.
We'll see about that.
But what's been your impression of the last ISS show ever?
What I'm going to say is I hadn't been to Fort Worth, and the people here, the decorators here, is what I'm going to take away. There have been the kindest, nicest, most interested decorators here, and they have jumped in and really shown a lot of love for all the people who are out there sharing content, and honestly, for all of their vendors. So that's been really awesome. And then the other great thing, I actually have seen several people launching stuff here at Fort Worth. And everybody says, oh, we only ever launch at Long Beach. But there's been a lot of great stuff out here at Fort Worth. And I'm kind of, I won't just say surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
Cool.
To see that here at Fort Worth, maybe you would think it's not on one of the coasts. Yeah, it's still a great show, and there's great stuff happening here at a smaller show. So, great to see that from the folks at Impressions, and soon to be Impressions Expo. And it's also, historical to be here at the last ISS.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, again, we have no idea what you're saying over there, so hopefully you can hear us and all things were good. But Eric's made this thing shine. So, again, another kudos to him. Let's throw a whole bunch of hearts up there for Eric. Hearts for Eric. #.
All right, so now I'm going to run and actually stop the live video. Thanks for having me on, sir.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah, I think we'll probably call it for today, but tune in tomorrow. We will be bringing more content tomorrow. Thomas Trimmingham from M&R. I've been trying to get him. He's stopped by a couple times and we've been busy. So we're going to round up some more people. If there's anybody you want us to talk to.
This is great. Comment from Todd. Actually, I'm mic'd up, so thanks, Todd. Batman always makes things good. Thank you, Todd. That's like the best nickname ever.
There we go. Batman. Nice.
Thanks, Todd.
Awesome. All right, good stuff. So, we're going to try to get some more folks on tomorrow. Again, if there's anybody you want to see that is here in Fort Worth, you want us to talk to, I also want to get some decorators. So if you're tuning in, I got a spot right here for you. Terry's overworking, so I got a spot for you. Come see us. All right, booth 541, right back by Impressions.
Yeah, jump on in, folks.
All righty.